Dear students, today we shall discuss about the second unit of IT for managers, that is kinds of MIS. Here we will be discussing about different types of MIS generally we come across. So where these different types of MIS system will be using in an organization for various functions. So in detail we will be discussing one by one. The first type of MIS or information system is TPS, that is transaction processing system. A transaction processing system is a computerized system that performs and records the daily routine transactions necessary to conduct business. For example, sales order entry, hotel reservation systems, payroll, employee record keeping, and shipping. Like this, daily basis, an organization or any business unit you take, they will be doing various transactions, so that need to be monitored, that need to be documented. So for this we will be using an ERP or a customized software, so that we can call as TPS. So TPS system or information system that process data resulting from the occurrence of business transactions, from where the business transaction has started, from there till we close that transaction, it will be documented, it will be recorded. So such transactions, or there could be events that occur as a part of doing business, such as sales, purchases, or deposits, withdrawals, refunds, and payments. So like this, any supermarkets, hypermarkets, or a bank system, or any service institutes, so everywhere will be using this. Say for example, the data that is generated whenever the business sells something to a customer on credit. So such data, where we document, where we register, for that we need a software. So that type of system we can call as TPS. Here the data about the customer or a product, salesperson, and store and so on must be captured and processed. So this in turn causes additional transactions such as credit checks, customer billing, inventory changes, and increases in accounts receivable balances, which generate even more data. So thus this TPS are needed to capture and process such data, or the operations of a business world grind to a halt. Suppose if we don't have such data, so then we cannot process the data accurately, or it may consume a lot of human power or a lot of time and energy. So in recording, and so sometimes retrieving such data which has been documented physically might be difficult, and sometimes it may go effortless also. So therefore TPS system play a vital role in supporting the operations of an organization. So like this, in an organization we come across different types of information system, like the like executive support system that we call as ESS, and MIS, that is at the strategic level, that will be used, and DSS, decision support system, and TPS, transaction processing system at the operational level. So at different levels of an organization we will be using these types of information system. A major difference between TPS and DSS is the general purpose of each type of system. That is, TPS are designed to expedite and automate transaction processing, record keeping, and simple business reporting of transactions, whereas DSS are intended to assist in decision making and decision implementation. So here we have the difference between these types of information system. So based on some parameters, they have been differentiated, like the type of information inputs, processing, and information output that is generated, and the end users. So on this basis we can differentiate the information system. So coming to the first one, ESS, so that is Executive Support System. Here the information that we are going to add as an input is the data or the external or might be the aggregate data which we have generated from an external source or internal source. And for processing of that we may use graphic simulations or interactive tools, and the output generated is the projections or responses to queries, where that we convey in different forms the through as response in different modes, and the users are the senior managers. So that report or output will be sending to the senior managers, whereas in DSS the information input are the low volume data or massive database optimized for data analysis, then analytic models and data analysis tools. And the processing happens in the form of an interactive mode, and where we will be using simulations or analysis work, and the output generated is the special reports, decision assets, responses to queries, and the users are the professionals, staff managers. So say for example you take the GPS or geo tracking systems, so we'll be using nowadays, where it will direct us in different ways by indicating the heavy traffic areas in different color codes and giving us the right direction. So based on that we can take the decisions, or any project analysis that is being done based on some record, sales record, or the opinion surveys or feedback surveys. So based on that any analysis that is being made will lead to decision support system. So there we can track the orders or number of orders booked, then taken, or number of orders completed successfully or delivered. Like that we can create an database or create a report based on the data that is been collected. And the next one is MIS, where here similar transaction that is where we'll be using summary of the data, and which is of high volume, and it where we will be using a routine reports. So say for example employee payroll, every month it has to be calculated, or employee attendance system, monitoring system like login or logout, then their attendance or their registration for different kinds of activities. So this will continue on a regular basis, so where we'll be using MIS for this. And the output is summary and exception reports, where this will be done by the middle managers. And the last one is TPS. So here we'll be using the transaction events, where such different events will be sorted and they will be listed, merged, and we are going to update that. And any time point of time the data can be means we'll be collecting detailed report out of that, and they can be stored, saved, and retrieved. This will be done by the operational personnel, or maybe the supervisors at the lower level. Now coming to TPS. So here let us understand the TPS cycle. TPS tries to capture and process data describing business transactions, and TPS have 5 different stages of cycle. They are: the first one is data entry activities, transaction processing activities, and file and database processing. And the fourth one is document and report generation, inquiry processing system. So and the data entry process, where we'll be using the input activity in transaction processing system, which involves a data process. That is, in this process data is captured or collected by recording, coding, and editing activities. The data may be converted to a form that can be entered into a computer system. It has always been a problem getting data into computers accurately and quickly enough to match their awesome processing speeds. That is, these methods are more efficient and reliable and are known as source data automation. Here we'll be using traditional data entry process also, that is in traditional methods of data entry typically rely on the end users of an information system, where they will be using data on source documents such as purchase order, payroll time, and sales order forms. So the source documents are subjected to one of the following additional data entry activities, that is the data is converted into a machine readable medium, that is like magnetic tape or magnetic discs. Typically this means using such devices as key to tape machine and key to disk system. The data from source documents could alternatively be directly entered into a computer system using a direct input device without the use of machine readable media. So this is about the TPS cycle, and here we'll be using the data automation system also, that is the use of automated methods of data entry is known as source data automation, which includes several methods which is been developed to accomplish this automation through very few completely automated data entry process. So this will be comparing with that of the batch processing. Here in batch processing, as like the transaction TPS, the transaction data is accumulated over a period of time and processed periodically, like maybe the number of units of the product that is being produced in a particular batch in a particular cycle can be recorded, and the real time processing where data is processed immediately after a transaction process. So that is during COVID time, the samples that is being collected, at the end of the day they will be tested, that is they will be run on the machine, the samples. So that could be a better example for batch processing. And few batch processing activities includes gathering source documents originated by business transactions such as sales orders and invoices into groups called batches, and recording transactions data on an input medium such as magnetic disk or magnetic tape, and later sorting and then processing. So this is batch processing. And the next one is real time processing, where it processes transaction data immediately after they are generated and can provide immediate output to end users. So this is real time processing. Now coming to the next type, that is MIS. The MIS is, as we know, it is management information system, is a system consisting of people people, machines, procedures, databases, and data models as its elements. The system gathers data from the internal and external sources of an organization, and where the meaning of this is, it is an acronym of three words, that is management, information, and system. In order to fully understand the term MIS, let us try to understand these three words, that is management. As we all know, management is the art of getting things done through and with the people in formally organized groups. And managerial functions, we know, where we'll be using the functions like planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling the information system which we are going to collect. And that includes four major resources like hardware, software, people, and data. Let's briefly discuss some basic concepts and examples of how these resources contributes to the information processing activities of information system. Say for example, the first one, hardware, it includes all physical devices, and software, it includes all set of information processing instructions, and people are required for the operation of all information system. And these people resources include specialists and end users. Then the data is more than the raw material of information systems, and the concept of data resources have been broadened by managers and information system professionals. Now let us discuss about classification of information system. The discipline MIS is in its evolutionary stage. This is in its evolutionary stage, and MIS is a concept which is a matter of degree rather than an absolute one. The classification of information system are TPS, MIS, DSS, ESS, and OAS, Office Automation System, and Business Expert System. So now we discussed about TPS. So where we understood as it represents the automation of the fundamental routine process used to support business operations. It does not provide any information to the user for his or her decision making. Previously, transaction processing system was known as MIS. Prior to computers, data processing was performed manually or with simple machines, where the collected data will be processed to generate the output data. So this is about TPS and MIS. Next class we shall discuss about DSS and the other types of MIS. Thank you.